To get started, I would recommend that you get a completely free Gold IRA guide that is written by the best and most trusted Gold IRA company that I have found after over 20 years as an expert independent gold researcher. This free Gold IRA guide will explain everything you need to know and will also answer any questions you may have about Gold IRAs. This is the best guide I have seen in my lifetime as an expert independent gold researcher with more than 20 years of experience, and this is the best guide available anywhere in my opinion. Also, when you get this free Gold IRA guide, you will get free access to the top Gold IRA experts who will provide you with personalized support and help over the phone, and they will answer any questions you may have. To get this top free Gold IRA guide, simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes, or go to the link that is in the episode description. So again, to get this top free Gold IRA guide, simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes, or go to the link that is in the episode description. This free guide is really worth getting. Simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes, or go to the link that is in the episode description. Also, this audiobook is not financial investment or tax advice. For financial investment or tax advice, consult a financial investment or tax advisor and take full responsibility for any decision you make. Okay, let's start the audiobook. Gold IRA Detailed History. Precious Metals Gold IRA History. A comprehensive journey through the evolution of Gold IRAs, from legislative inception to modern retirement strategy. For millennia, gold has captivated humanity. More than just a precious metal, gold has served as a symbol of wealth, stability, and security across cultures and civilizations. From ancient civilizations using gold as currency to modern-day central banks holding it as a reserve asset, its inherent value and enduring appeal have remained remarkably constant. In the world of finance, gold has long been recognized as a hedge against inflation, economic uncertainty, and the volatility of traditional markets. It is within this context of gold's profound historical significance and its modern financial role that the story of the Gold IRA unfolds. This audiobook embarks on a detailed historical journey, tracing the evolution of the Gold IRA, also known as a precious metals IRA. We'll delve into the legislative roots that paved the way for incorporating physical gold and other precious metals into retirement portfolios typically dominated by stocks and bonds. We'll explore the motivations behind this shift, the key legal milestones, and the factors that have contributed to the growing popularity and acceptance of Gold IRAs as a prudent and potentially advantageous element of a well-rounded retirement strategy. Throughout this historical exploration, we will highlight the compelling reasons why considering a Gold IRA can be a strategically sound decision for individuals seeking to safeguard their financial future and enhance their retirement security. The pre-IRA landscape. Retirement savings before individual empowerment. To truly understand the significance of the Gold IRA, it's essential to first grasp the retirement savings landscape that existed before the advent of individual retirement accounts themselves. Prior to the mid-20th century, retirement planning was largely the domain of employers and government-sponsored programs. The concept of individual responsibility for funding one's retirement was not as firmly established as it is today. Traditional pensions, often called defined benefit plans, were the cornerstone of retirement security for many workers. These plans promised employees a specific retirement income based on factors like salary and years of service. Employers bore the primary responsibility for funding and managing these pension plans, and employees relied on their employer's financial stability and long-term solvency to ensure their retirement income. However, this system had inherent limitations. Pension plans were not universally available, especially for those in smaller businesses, self-employed individuals, or those working in certain sectors. Furthermore, job mobility could jeopardize pension benefits, as vesting schedules and portability remained limited. If an individual changed jobs frequently, they might not accumulate sufficient years of service with any single employer to qualify for a substantial pension. Beyond pensions, individual savings options were relatively limited and often less tax-advantaged than modern retirement accounts. While individuals could save through personal savings accounts, brokerage accounts, or potentially real estate investments, These options lacked the dedicated tax benefits specifically designed for retirement savings that would later become hallmarks of IRAs and other qualified retirement plans. In essence, the pre-IRA era represented a more paternalistic approach to retirement planning. While pensions provided a vital safety net for many, they were not universally accessible, and individual control and flexibility over retirement savings were considerably less pronounced. This context of limited individual retirement savings options and a reliance on employer-centric systems sets the stage for the revolutionary impact that the introduction of IRAs would have. It also underscores the need for diversification and alternative asset classes, a need that Gold IRAs would ultimately address. The birth of the IRA, ERISA, and the dawn of individual retirement responsibility. The year 1974 marks a watershed moment in the history of retirement savings in the United States. It was in this year that the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, or ERISA, was enacted. ERISA was a landmark piece of legislation designed to overhaul and regulate private pension plans. However, it was a less heralded yet equally transformative provision within ERISA that gave birth to the Individual Retirement Account, or IRA. Recognizing the limitations of the existing pension system and the need to broaden retirement savings opportunities, Congress included provisions in ERISA that created IRAs. The core purpose of IRAs was to empower individuals to take greater responsibility for their own retirement savings. By offering tax advantages, IRAs incentivized individuals to save and invest for their future, independent of employer-sponsored pension plans. Initially, the permissible investments within IRAs were somewhat restricted, primarily focusing on conventional assets such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and certificates of deposit, CDs. The idea was to encourage saving through established financial instruments. The concept of holding physical assets like gold within an IRA was not part of the original IRA framework. The focus was on paper-based investments readily traded in financial markets. However, even in the early days of IRAs, the underlying principle of individual control and diversification was present. By allowing individuals to choose their own investments within the IRA structure, albeit limited to approved categories, ERISA began to shift the paradigm away from solely employer-driven retirement planning. The seeds of future expansion and diversification within IRAs, including the eventual inclusion of precious metals, were sown with the passage of ERISA. It's crucial to recognize that even though gold and other precious metals were not initially permitted in IRAs, the very foundation of the IRA, individual choice and tax-advantaged saving, laid the groundwork for future legislative changes that would broaden the scope of permissible assets. The creation of the IRA was the first, crucial step in a journey that would eventually lead to the emergence of the Gold IRA as a viable and increasingly sought-after retirement savings vehicle. The legislative evolution, paving the way for precious metals in IRAs. The initial limitations on IRA investments, while understandable in the context of the time, gradually began to be reevaluated. As economic conditions fluctuated and investor preferences evolved, the desire for greater diversification and exposure to alternative asset classes grew. The late 20th century witnessed periods of economic uncertainty, inflation concerns, and stock market volatility. These events highlighted the potential benefits of diversifying beyond traditional paper assets and considering tangible assets like precious metals, particularly gold, as a store of value and a hedge against economic headwinds. The pivotal legislative shift that unlocked the door for precious metals within IRAs came with the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997. This landmark piece of legislation significantly broadened the definition of permissible investments within IRAs, specifically including certain forms of bullion and precious metals coins. Prior to this act, the IRS's interpretation of collectibles within retirement accounts generally prohibited the inclusion of physical gold and silver, considering them as investments in collectibles which were subject to unfavorable tax treatment within IRAs. The Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997 clarified that certain forms of gold, silver, platinum, and palladium bullion, as well as specific types of precious metals coins meeting IRS purity standards, were no longer considered collectibles for IRA purposes. This crucial distinction removed the tax barriers and effectively opened the door for individuals to hold physical precious metals within their IRAs on a tax-advantaged basis. This legislative change was not merely a technical adjustment. It reflected a growing recognition within Congress and the financial industry of the potential benefits of including precious metals as part of a diversified retirement portfolio. Advocates for precious metal IRAs argued persuasively that gold, silver, and other precious metals could serve as inflation hedges. Historically, precious metals have tended to maintain or increase their value during periods of inflation, acting as a counterbalance to the erosion of purchasing power of fiat currencies. Safe haven assets. In times of economic uncertainty, geopolitical instability, or stock market downturns, precious metals often experience increased demand as investors seek safe havens to preserve capital. Diversification tools. Precious metals have a low or even negative correlation with traditional asset classes like stocks and bonds. Including them in a portfolio can reduce overall portfolio volatility and potentially enhance risk-adjusted returns. Tangible assets. Unlike paper assets that can be subject to counterparty risk or devaluation, physical precious metals are tangible assets with inherent value and a long history of serving as a store of wealth. The Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997 was therefore a watershed moment in the history of gold IRAs. It removed the legal impediments and established a clear pathway for individuals to incorporate physical gold and other precious metals into their retirement savings strategy, aligning with the growing desire for diversification, inflation protection, and a tangible store of value. The rise of the Gold IRA, responding to economic realities and investor demand. Following the passage of the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997, the Gold IRA market began to emerge and gradually gain traction. Initially, awareness of this new retirement savings option was relatively limited. However, several key factors contributed to the increasing popularity and mainstream acceptance of Gold IRAs in the years that followed. Economic uncertainty and market volatility. The early 21st century witnessed significant economic events that heightened investor anxieties and fueled demand for alternative investments. The dot-com bubble burst in the early 2000s, followed by the global financial crisis of 2008-2009, exposed vulnerabilities in traditional financial markets, and eroded confidence in equities and other paper assets. During these periods of economic turmoil, gold prices surged, reinforcing its reputation as a safe haven asset and a valuable portfolio diversifier. Inflation concerns. Periods of quantitative easing and expansionary monetary policy by central banks raised concerns about potential future inflation. Gold has historically been viewed as an effective hedge against inflation, as its supply is limited and its value tends to rise as the purchasing power of fiat currencies declines. These inflation concerns further bolstered the appeal of gold IRAs for investors seeking to protect their retirement savings from inflationary pressures. Currency devaluation fears. Concerns about the long-term stability and potential devaluation of fiat currencies, particularly the US dollar, also contributed to interest in gold. As governments worldwide accumulated debt and engaged in unconventional monetary policies, some investors sought refuge in gold, perceiving it as a more stable and independent store of value compared to government-backed currencies. Increased investor education and awareness. As financial information became more readily accessible and independent financial advisors increasingly recognized the potential benefits of gold IRAs, investor education and awareness surrounding this option grew. Specialized gold IRA custodians and precious metals dealers emerged, providing the infrastructure and expertise to facilitate the establishment and management of these accounts. This increased accessibility and education helped to demystify gold IRAs and broaden their appeal to a wider range of investors. Desire for tangible assets. Beyond purely financial considerations, a segment of investors expressed a growing preference for tangible assets like gold and silver. In a world increasingly dominated by digital finance and intangible assets, the allure of owning physical gold, something that can be held, touched, and passed down through generations, resonated with individuals seeking a more concrete and secure form of wealth preservation. The modern Gold IRA, a strategic tool for retirement diversification and security. Today, the Gold IRA is no longer a niche or obscure retirement savings vehicle. It has evolved into a recognized and increasingly utilized strategy for individuals seeking to diversify their retirement portfolios, enhance their financial security, and potentially mitigate risk in an uncertain economic environment. The modern Gold IRA offers several compelling advantages that make it a strategically sound consideration for retirement savers. Diversification. Beyond traditional assets, Gold IRAs provide a crucial element of diversification beyond the typical mix of stocks, bonds, and real estate commonly found in retirement accounts. This diversification can help to reduce overall portfolio volatility and potentially improve risk-adjusted returns, particularly during periods when traditional markets are underperforming. Inflation protection. Gold's historical track record as an inflation hedge makes Gold IRAs an attractive option for individuals concerned about the erosive effects of inflation on their retirement savings. By including gold in a portfolio, individuals can potentially safeguard their purchasing power against rising prices. Safe haven security. In times of economic turmoil, geopolitical uncertainty, or stock market corrections, gold's safe haven appeal can provide a buffer against market downturns. As a non-correlated asset, gold can help to stabilize portfolio values when other investments are declining. Tangible asset ownership. For those who value tangible assets and seek a store of wealth outside of the digital financial system, Gold IRAs offer the security and peace of mind of owning physical precious metals that are securely stored in IRS-approved depositories. Potential for long-term growth. While gold is not primarily viewed as a growth asset in the same way as stocks, it has demonstrated long-term appreciation potential over decades and centuries. As a finite resource with enduring demand, gold can serve as a valuable component of a long-term retirement savings strategy. Navigating the Gold IRA landscape, key considerations and best practices. While the benefits of Gold IRAs are compelling, it's crucial to approach them with due diligence and a thorough understanding of the nuances involved. Here are key considerations and best practices for individuals considering a Gold IRA. Understanding IRS regulations. Familiarize yourself with the IRS rules and regulations governing Gold IRAs, including eligible precious metals, purity standards, storage requirements, and distribution rules. Consult with a qualified tax advisor or Gold IRA specialist to ensure compliance. Choosing a reputable custodian. Select a reputable and experienced Gold IRA custodian that specializes in handling precious metals and has a strong track record of secure storage and regulatory compliance. Thoroughly vet potential custodians and review their fees, storage options, and customer service. Selecting eligible precious metals. Ensure that the precious metals you choose for your Gold IRA meet IRS purity standards and are in approved forms, such as bullion bars or coins. Work with a reputable precious metals dealer to acquire eligible metals. Secure storage. Understand that Gold IRAs require secure, third-party storage in IRS-approved depositories. Direct possession of the gold is not permitted within an IRA structure. Inquire about the custodian's storage facilities, insurance coverage, and security protocols. Long-term perspective. Gold IRAs are generally best suited for long-term retirement savings. Precious metals markets can experience volatility in the short term, so a long-term investment horizon is essential to realize the potential benefits of gold as a portfolio diversifier and inflation hedge. Professional guidance. Consult with a qualified financial advisor who understands Gold IRAs and can help you assess whether they are an appropriate fit for your overall retirement savings goals, risk tolerance, and financial situation. Conclusion. Gold IRAs, a legacy of prudent diversification and enduring value. The history of Gold IRAs is a testament to the evolving landscape of retirement savings and the enduring appeal of precious metals as a store of value and a hedge against economic uncertainties. From the initial limitations of IRAs focused solely on paper assets to the legislative breakthrough of the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997, the path to Gold IRAs has been one of increasing recognition of the importance of diversification and the strategic role that precious metals can play in a well-rounded retirement portfolio. Today, Gold IRAs stand as a powerful tool for individuals seeking to enhance their retirement security, diversify beyond traditional assets, and potentially safeguard their savings against inflation and economic volatility. As economic uncertainties persist and the global financial landscape continues to evolve, the allure of gold and the strategic advantages of gold IRAs are likely to remain compelling. By understanding the historical context, the legislative framework, and the practical considerations involved, individuals can make informed decisions about incorporating gold IRAs into their retirement planning strategy, potentially securing a more resilient and financially sound future by embracing the enduring value of precious metals within a tax-advantaged framework. The journey of the Gold IRA is far from over. As financial markets and economic realities continue to change, the role of precious metals and the accessibility of gold IRAs will undoubtedly continue to adapt and evolve, solidifying their place as a significant and increasingly relevant component of modern retirement planning and a testament to the enduring allure and value of gold throughout history. Also, I would recommend that you get a completely free Gold IRA guide that is written by the best and most trusted Gold IRA company that I have found after over 20 years as an expert independent gold researcher. This free Gold IRA guide will explain everything you need to know and will also answer any questions you may have about Gold IRAs. This is the best guide I have seen in my lifetime as an expert independent gold researcher with more than 20 years of experience, and this is the best guide available anywhere in my opinion. Also, when you get this free Gold IRA guide, you will get free access to the top Gold IRA experts who will provide you with personalized support and help over the phone, and they will answer any questions you may have. To get this top free Gold IRA guide, simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes or go to the link that is in the episode description. So again, to get this top free Gold IRA guide, simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes or go to the link that is in the episode description. This free guide is really worth getting. Simply go to the link that is in the episode show notes or go to the link that is in the episode description. Also, this audiobook is not financial, investment, or tax advice. For financial, investment, or tax advice, consult a financial, investment, or tax advisor and take full responsibility for any decision you make. This is the end of this audiobook. I hope you enjoyed this and found it valuable. I would really appreciate it if you could please share this with everyone you know and leave a positive review for me. So again, I would really appreciate it if you could please share this with everyone you know and leave a positive review for me. All the best to you.